5. Miracle vegetables. All seniors must eat to prevent dementia and keep the brain young. If you're over 60 and you've been forgetting names, misplacing your car keys, or struggling to find the right words in conversation, your brain is trying to tell you something important. But here's what most doctors won't tell you. These aren't just normal signs of aging you have to accept. Scientists have discovered something incredible. There are 5 specific vegetables that can literally reverse brain aging and dramatically reduce your risk of dementia. In fact, one groundbreaking study found that seniors who ate just 1 serving of certain vegetables daily had the mental sharpness of someone 11 years younger. Imagine having the memory and clarity you had a decade ago, just by changing what's on your plate. The pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know this because these vegetables cost pennies, not hundreds of dollars a month. So if you or someone you love is worried about losing their mental edge, keep watching. In the next 9 minutes, I'm going to reveal the 5 miracle vegetables that fight dementia, the exact nutrients inside them that protect your brain cells from damage, and the simple daily serving sizes that research proves can slow cognitive decline by over 50%. I'll also share the surprising vegetable that works so fast, it improves brain function within 90 minutes. But here's the deal. You need to stay until the end, because vegetable number 5 is the one that shocked even the doctors who studied it. Let's get started. Your brain is the most important organ in your body, controlling everything from your memories to your ability to recognize your grandchildren's faces. But as we age, our brains face constant attack from inflammation, poor circulation, and toxic buildup. The good news? Nature has given us powerful weapons to fight back. These 5 vegetables contain specific compounds that scientists have proven can protect, repair, and even rejuvenate aging brain cells. Let's dive into the first one. The first miracle vegetable is actually a family of vegetables, leafy greens. I'm talking about spinach, kale, collard greens, arugula, Swiss chard, and even good old-fashioned lettuce, though the darker the leaves, the more powerful the benefits. Now, I know what you're thinking. Everyone says, eat your greens. But let me tell you why these are absolutely essential for your brain. Researchers at Rush University in Chicago conducted a massive study following older adults for nearly a decade, and what they discovered was remarkable. Seniors who ate just 1 serving of leafy greens every single day experienced cognitive decline at a rate that was 50% slower than those who rarely ate them. But here's the part that made headlines. When they tested the mental abilities of the daily green eaters, they found their brains were functioning as if they were 11 years younger. Think about that for a moment. 11 years of brain aging reversed just by eating a cup of spinach or kale each day. So what makes leafy greens so powerful? It comes down to 4 key nutrients working together like a symphony in your brain. First, there's lutein, the same compound that protects your eyes. It crosses into your brain and acts like a shield against harmful molecules that damage your neurons. Second, folate, which is a B vitamin that's absolutely critical for producing neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers your brain cells use to communicate. Without enough folate, your brain literally can't send signals properly. Third is vitamin K, which many people have never even heard of, but it's essential for forming the protective fatty coating around your nerve cells. And finally, beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, a powerful antioxidant that fights the inflammation, slowly destroying brain tissue as we age. Here's what I love about leafy greens. They're incredibly easy to add to your diet. You don't need fancy recipes or expensive supplements. Throw a handful of spinach into your morning scrambled eggs. Make a simple salad with mixed greens, tomatoes, and olive oil for lunch. Sauté some kale with garlic as a side dish at dinner. One serving is just 1 cup of raw greens or half a cup cooked. That's it. And unlike medications that can take weeks or months to show effects, studies suggest these nutrients start protecting your brain from day one. Your brain cells are constantly under attack from free radicals and inflammation, and every serving of greens you eat is sending in reinforcements. Now, I know some of you might be thinking greens taste bitter, or you've never been a salad person. But here's my challenge to you. Try different varieties. Baby spinach is mild and tender. Arugula has a peppery kick. Find what works for you, because this one simple habit could be the difference between staying sharp or facing memory loss in your later years. Have you been eating your leafy greens? Drop a comment and let me know how you prepare them. Now, those leafy greens are powerful, but the next vegetable family takes a completely different approach to protecting your brain. The second miracle vegetable group is the Cruciferous family, and these are absolute game changers: broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. Now, I'll be honest with you, these vegetables get a bad reputation. Many people remember being forced to eat overcooked, mushy broccoli as kids, and they've avoided it ever since. But once you understand what these vegetables do inside your brain, you'll see them in a completely different light. Cruciferous vegetables contain unique compounds that actually reduce inflammation in your brain tissue and lower levels of a dangerous amino acid called homocysteine that's directly linked to dementia and Alzheimer's disease. When homocysteine levels get too high in your blood, it damages the delicate blood vessels in your brain and interferes with the production of neurotransmitters. It's like rust building up in your brain's wiring. So how do cruciferous vegetables fight this? They're absolutely loaded with B vitamins, particularly B6, B9 and B12, which work together to break down and eliminate homocysteine before it can cause damage. But that's not all. Broccoli specifically contains incredibly high levels of vitamin K, even more than leafy greens. 1 cup of cooked broccoli gives you over 200% of your daily vitamin K needs. This vitamin is essential for synthesizing sphingolipids, which are special fats that make up the structure of your brain cells. Without adequate vitamin K, your brain cells literally can't maintain their structure properly. Broccoli also contains compounds called glucosinolates. When you chew broccoli, these break down into substances called isothiocyanates, and studies have shown these activate your body's natural detoxification systems, helping your brain clear out toxic buildup that accumulates with age. Brussels sprouts deserve a special mention here because they're one of the most nutrient-dense vegetables on the planet. They're tiny but mighty, packed with antioxidants called camphorol and quercetin that protect brain cells from oxidative stress. Cauliflower is another superstar because it's rich in choline, a nutrient that's a precursor to acetylcholine, one of the most important neurotransmitters for memory and learning. As we age, our brains produce less acetylcholine, which is why memory starts to fade. Eating cauliflower helps maintain those levels. Now, here's the key to getting the most benefit from cruciferous vegetables. Don't overcook them. When you boil them until they're mushy, you destroy many of these beneficial compounds. Instead, try steaming them lightly for about 5 minutes, or sauté them quickly in a pan with olive oil and garlic. Roasting is fantastic too, because it brings out natural sweetness you never knew was there. I recommend eating at least 3 to 4 servings of cruciferous vegetables per week. A serving is about half a cup cooked or 1 cup raw. Try adding cauliflower rice to your meals, roast Brussels sprouts with balsamic vinegar until they're crispy, or make a simple broccoli sauté with lemon and garlic. The variety keeps things interesting and ensures you're getting all those different protective compounds. Here's something else important. These vegetables work best when combined with healthy fats. The fat-soluble vitamins, like vitamin K, need fat to be absorbed properly, so always add a drizzle of olive oil or eat them with avocado or nuts. Do you have a favourite way to cook broccoli or Brussels sprouts? Share your recipes in the comments, because I know many of you watching have discovered delicious ways to prepare these brain-boosting powerhouses. All right. The first 2 vegetable groups focused on B vitamins and vitamin K, but the next group protects your brain in a completely different way using the power of colour. The third miracle vegetable group is what I call the colourful carotenoid vegetables, and they include carrots, bell peppers, sweet potatoes and tomatoes. Now, here's something fascinating. The vibrant colours in these vegetables aren't just for show. Those bright oranges, reds and yellows come from powerful compounds called carotenoids, and these act like sunscreen for your brain cells. Just like sunscreen protects your skin from UV damage, carotenoids protect your brain cells from damage caused by free radicals and oxidative stress. Every single second, your brain is using enormous amounts of oxygen to function. And this creates unstable molecules called free radicals that attack your cells like tiny missiles. Over time, this damage accumulates and contributes to cognitive decline and dementia. But carotenoids neutralize these free radicals before they can cause harm. Let's start with carrots. We've all heard that carrots are good for your eyes, and that's absolutely true because of beta-carotene. But what many people don't realize is that the same beta-carotene that protects your vision also crosses the blood-brain barrier and accumulates in your brain tissue, where it reduces inflammation and protects neurons from damage. Studies have found that people with higher levels of beta-carotene in their blood have significantly better memory and cognitive function as they age. Sweet potatoes are another incredible source of beta-carotene, and they also provide complex carbohydrates that give your brain steady, sustained energy without the spikes and crashes you get from sugar or refined grains. Your brain runs on glucose, but it needs a steady supply, not a roller coaster. Now, let's talk about bell peppers, which I think are one of the most underrated brain foods out there. Bell peppers, especially the red and yellow ones, are absolutely bursting with vitamin C. In fact, one medium red bell pepper has nearly 3 times more vitamin C than an orange. Why does this matter for your brain? Vitamin C is essential for synthesizing neurotransmitters, particularly dopamine and norepinephrine, which control your mood, motivation, and attention. Low levels of vitamin C have been linked to increased risk of dementia. But here's what makes bell peppers even more special. They also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, the same carotenoids found in leafy greens, so you're getting multiple layers of brain protection in one vegetable. The beautiful thing about bell peppers is their versatility. You can eat them raw with hummus, roast them with olive oil, stuff them with lean protein and quinoa, or toss them into stir-fries and omelettes. And then we have tomatoes, which I'm including in this section, even though I'm going to dedicate the next section entirely to them because they're so important. Tomatoes are loaded with lycopene, one of the most powerful antioxidants ever discovered, and they also contain significant amounts of vitamin E, another crucial nutrient for brain health. The great thing about these colourful vegetables is that they're naturally sweet and satisfying, making them easy to incorporate into your daily meals. I recommend trying to eat at least one serving of orange or red vegetables every single day. Snack on baby carrots with almond butter. Bake a sweet potato and top it with cinnamon. Add diced bell peppers to your morning eggs or afternoon salad. Roast a medley of colourful vegetables as a side dish for dinner. Here's a pro tip that will multiply the benefits. Eat your carotenoid vegetables with healthy fats. Beta-carotene, lycopene, and other carotenoids are fat-soluble, meaning your body can't absorb them properly without fat. Research shows that adding just a tablespoon of olive oil to your carrots or peppers can increase carotenoid absorption by up to 400%. That's a massive difference. So always drizzle your vegetables with extra virgin olive oil or eat them alongside avocado, nuts, or fatty fish. What's your favourite colourful vegetable? Do you prefer the sweetness of carrots and sweet potatoes or the crisp freshness of bell peppers? Let me know in the comments. Now, I mentioned tomatoes deserve their own section, and here's why. The fourth miracle vegetable is one you probably already have in your kitchen: tomatoes. Now, I know technically tomatoes are a fruit, but since we eat them like vegetables, we're counting them here, and trust me, your brain will thank you. Tomatoes contain one of nature's most powerful brain-protecting compounds, lycopene. This is the pigment that gives tomatoes their brilliant red colour. But inside your body, it acts as an incredibly potent antioxidant that specifically targets the types of damage most likely to cause dementia. Research has shown that lycopene reduces inflammation in brain tissue, protects the fatty membranes surrounding your neurons, and may even help prevent the formation of amyloid plaques, those sticky protein clumps found in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. What makes lycopene so special compared to other antioxidants? It's uniquely structured to neutralize a particularly dangerous type of free radical called singlet oxygen, which is one of the most damaging molecules your brain faces. Every time you breathe, your brain uses about 20% of the oxygen in your body, and some of that oxygen gets converted into these harmful singlet oxygen molecules. Without adequate antioxidant protection, they tear through your brain cells like a wildfire. Lycopene acts like a firefighter, putting out these fires before they spread. Studies have found that people with the highest levels of lycopene in their blood have the lowest rates of cognitive decline and dementia. In one study, individuals with low lycopene levels were significantly more likely to develop Alzheimer's disease compared to those with high levels. But here's where tomatoes get even more interesting. Cooked tomatoes are actually better for your brain than raw ones. When you heat tomatoes, whether you're making tomato sauce, roasted tomatoes, or tomato soup, the heat breaks down the thick cell walls and releases the lycopene, making it much easier for your body to absorb. In fact, processed tomato products like tomato paste and sauce contain up to 5 times more bioavailable lycopene than fresh tomatoes. This is one of the few cases where cooking actually makes a vegetable more nutritious. And remember what I said earlier about eating carotenoids with fat? The same applies to lycopene. Studies show that cooking tomatoes in olive oil increases lycopene absorption dramatically. This is why Mediterranean cuisine, with its tomato-based sauces made with generous amounts of olive oil, is consistently linked to better brain health and lower dementia rates. Tomatoes also provide another brain-critical nutrient, vitamin E. This is a fat-soluble antioxidant that embeds itself directly into the membranes of your brain cells, protecting them from oxidative damage from the inside out. Your brain is made up of about 60% fat, making it especially vulnerable to oxidation, which is essentially your brain tissue going rancid like old cooking oil. Vitamin E prevents this process. Combining lycopene and vitamin E creates a synergistic effect where the two antioxidants work together, each one regenerating the other so they can keep protecting your brain cells for longer periods. So, how do you get more tomatoes into your diet? It's easier than you think. Make a simple marinara sauce with canned tomatoes, garlic, olive oil and herbs and use it over whole grain pasta, chicken or fish. Add sun-dried tomatoes to salads. Spread tomato paste on whole grain toast with avocado. Make a big batch of homemade tomato soup. Roast cherry tomatoes with olive oil and balsamic vinegar until they burst and concentrate their flavors. The fifth miracle vegetable is one that might surprise you, and it's one that many people have never even tried. Beets. Now, I understand beets are polarizing. Some people love their earthy sweetness, while others can't stand the taste. But when you hear what beets can do for your brain, and how quickly they work, you might be willing to give them a chance. Unlike the other vegetables we've discussed, which build up their protective effects over weeks and months, beets can improve your brain function within just 90 minutes of eating them. Yes, you heard that right. 90 minutes. The secret lies in something called dietary nitrates. Beets are one of the richest sources of natural nitrates on the planet, and when you eat them, your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide, a molecule that dilates and relaxes your blood vessels. Now, why does this matter for your brain? Because your brain is an incredibly hungry organ. Despite making up only about 2% of your body weight, it uses roughly 20% of your blood supply. Your brain cells need a constant flow of oxygen and glucose delivered through an intricate network of blood vessels, some so tiny that red blood cells have to squeeze through them single file. As we age, these blood vessels become stiff and narrow, reducing blood flow to critical brain regions. This reduced circulation is one of the main reasons memory and thinking speed decline with age. But when you consume beets, the nitric oxide they produce relaxes and widens those blood vessels, dramatically increasing blood flow to your brain, especially to areas responsible for executive function, attention, and memory. Studies using brain imaging technology have actually watched this happen in real time. Researchers gave older adults beet juice and then scanned their brains, and they could literally see increased blood flow to the frontal lobes within an hour or two. The frontal lobes are where complex thinking, planning and decision-making happen, and they're often the first areas affected by aging. Participants in these studies reported feeling mentally sharper and performed better on cognitive tests after consuming beets. This isn't just theoretical, it's measurable, observable improvement. But the benefits of beets don't stop at blood flow. Beets also contain unique antioxidants called beta-lanes, which give beets their deep purple-red colour. These compounds are found in almost no other foods, and they have powerful anti-inflammatory and detoxification properties. Beta-lanes help your brain cells eliminate toxins and reduce chronic inflammation, both of which contribute to cognitive decline. Some research even suggests that beta-lanes may help prevent the misfolding of proteins in the brain, a process that's central to Alzheimer's disease. Beets are also rich in folate, the same B vitamin found in leafy greens, which supports neurotransmitter production and helps lower homocysteine levels. So how can you add beets to your diet? If you're new to beets, start small. You can buy pre-cooked beets in most grocery stores, which saves time and mess. Dice them and add them to salads with goat cheese, walnuts, and a balsamic vinaigrette. The combination of flavors is absolutely delicious and masks any earthiness you might not like. You can also roast fresh beets in the oven with olive oil, salt, and pepper until they're tender and caramelized. Roasting brings out their natural sweetness. Beet juice is another option and is what most studies use because it delivers a concentrated dose of nitrates. You can buy it at health food stores or juice your own beets at home. If the taste is too strong for you, mix beet juice with apple or carrot juice to mellow it out. Some people even add beets to smoothies with berries, bananas and spinach, and the other flavors completely cover the beet taste while you still get all the benefits. Start with just a small amount, maybe a quarter of a beet or a couple ounces of juice, and see how your body responds. Some people notice they think more clearly or have more mental energy within hours. Here's one important note. If you're on blood pressure medication, talk to your doctor before adding large amounts of beets to your diet because the nitrates can lower blood pressure, which is generally a good thing, but you want to make sure it doesn't drop too low when combined with medication. For most people, though, beets are safe and incredibly beneficial. Have you ever tried beets? If not, are you willing to give them a shot after learning how they can boost your brain power? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from those of you who already eat beets regularly too. What's your favorite way to prepare them? So there you have it. 5 miracle vegetables that can protect your brain, slow cognitive decline, and potentially add years of mental sharpness to your life. Let me recap quickly. First, leafy greens like spinach and kale, which can make your brain function like it's 11 years younger. Second, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts, which fight inflammation and lower dangerous homocysteine levels. Third, colourful carotenoid vegetables like carrots, bell peppers and sweet potatoes, which shield your brain cells from oxidative damage. Fourth, tomatoes loaded with lycopene that specifically protects against Alzheimer's disease. And fifth, beets, which increase blood flow to your brain within 90 minutes. The research is clear. These aren't just healthy foods, they're powerful medicine for your brain. Start adding just 1 or 2 of these vegetables to your daily meals and build from there. Your future self will thank you. Now, if you found this information valuable, do me a favor. Hit that like button right now and share this video with someone you love who's worried about their memory or brain health. Leave a comment below and tell me which of these 5 vegetables you're going to start eating this week. Are you team leafy greens, team broccoli, or are you brave enough to try beets? I read every comment and I love hearing from you. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss our weekly videos on living your best life after 60.